Epic Universe has got a new way to bid you adieu at the end of the day. Celestial Good Night, the brand new fireworks spectacular at Epic Universe debuted last night, and I was there. Let's talk about it today on that Park Place. Vash, this was just a truly special, event of being there for the first night of the Celestial Good Night, to be able to get the footage that I got from it. I want to thank Universal for that. We were invited to a special press event for this, and it was tremendous. The fine people over at Universal PR do a really nice job, and they're always keeping us updated on what's going on, in the parks. Maybe if some other theme park, companies, in Orlando would keep us abreast of situations like this, we could provide extra coverage for them too. But they don't. So Universal has always been very, very generous with us in letting us know what's going on. That doesn't color our coverage at all, though. I'm going to tell you about the good and the bad of Celestial Good Night. I'm not just going to praise this thing wildly. So let's talk a bit about it, Vash. First of all, this is a new thing for Universal. Fireworks spectaculars, not typically their thing.
No. In fact, I believe it was Michael Aiello, I do believe, one of the people, Universal creatives working on this, talking about how, Universal hadn't done nightly fireworks presentations for decades.
Yeah.
And they were really, really glad that they were able to get this in Epic Universe.
I mean, when you look over at, what's going on over at the regular Universal Park, you've got, I think it's called Cinesational or something like that. It's the drone show that they do over Universal proper.
Right.
This is very different from that. It was, honestly, I was expecting drones, but we didn't get any drones in this one. And I'm okay with that because there's a lot of fireworks, and you probably can't really do fireworks and drones in the same show because, you're shooting things into the sky where the drones are. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe you can very easily do it. But they didn't do it for this. But let's get into it because it's a 10-minute show. So let's watch. This is the entire show, by the way, Vash. Okay, the lights are going down. Here we go. See you on the other side. I do not talk during the show, by the way. There was a French influencer next to me, and before I was I was filming the area around and commenting on it, and the French guy turns to me and he goes, "You are going to talk during the show like that?" And I went, "No," and he goes, "Oh, thank God." He's like, "All right,
fantastic."
All right, here we go.
Please.
Okay, so right away, I would like to point out one thing. It's not dark yet. This is the problem. And this is the problem with not just the show, but with Epic Universe itself, is that it closes too early. This was 9 p.m. This was 9 p.m. last night, and it still was this light out.
Wow, so, I'm actually surprised it was that light, but I know Florida is a little bit different with the weather.
I really don't understand why they don't keep this open later. Because Walt Disney World, you're typically open till 10, 11 p.m. Essentially, nobody in the park this day got to experience Epic Universe at night other than walking out, because you watched this show, and then by the end of the show, it was fully dark out, but then you had to leave. The portals were all closed once the show was over.
Yeah,
so
that's no good. And perhaps they've adjusted those hours just a little bit in order to take advantage of that new, after hours party that they're going to have for this park right here, in order to give party goers a little bit more exclusivity while also maintaining cast member labor costs. Maybe it was a balancing act between those. I do agree with you though, Marvin. It's a little bit too light for this show. Maybe even 9:30 would have been just a little bit better in order to have it pitch black out there. But
I mean, it does get dark during the show, so you'll see. I do love the music that they have leading up to the show, though, because it does sound like music that you would ride into battle.
That's cool.
Yeah. here we go. This is the start of the show.
Greetings, travelers. The time has come for the chronos to align. Across the cosmos, the energy of every portal will soon ignite, channeling the power of the stars as Universal Epic Universe bids you a celestial goodnight.
Love this effect.
That's cool.
Yeah. They use the water very well.
I see that you use the Helios as well.
Hey, check it out though on the Helios. At the very tippy top of the Helios, there, the icon up there is lit up and actually moving.
Well,
that was
super
interesting.
Cool. Nice.
That was
right there.
so. Here's the thing I'll say. See where I'm watching the show from, like from this side of the lagoon here, or the lake, or whatever you want to call it. This is where you want to watch it from. You don't want to watch it from over on the Helios side, because the fireworks happen over the Helios.
Right. That's kind of what we're concerned about a little bit was,
Yeah.
you know, if you do have a lot of pyrotechnics, that I think draws you down Celestial Park rather than get you close to the Helios.
Yes.
So I'm glad they make the decision, but good note for people who want to catch the show. Helios side, no good.
Well, that's the other thing I was thinking of is like if you're like one of the people in like the park view rooms, you're probably not getting the full experience. Like if you have the park view room, at this point, just go out into the park. Like I know there's a TV channel that will play the music in your room so you can watch from your window, but like you're not seeing the fireworks.
You're not getting the whole experience.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it in a second. I promise I'll try to keep the pauses to a minimum here, guys. But it's also partly, you know, for the music and whatnot, because there's
of course.
The music is spectacular. It really is. I love this original composition that they did.
Yeah, we were wondering whether or not it was going to be a greatest hits.
Yeah. I love that effect with just the lights in the water, like the way it looks like stuttered almost. So at this point, I was starting to think to myself, like, oh, okay, is it just going to be the fireworks on the side like that? Are they just going to do the little every once in a while? Because that would remind me of something like, you know, like what Disney does, where it's mostly projections and they just kind of do. No, I was very wrong about that.
Very cool.
Here it comes. First fireworks.
You've played within realms of power-ups and jungle adventures. Traveled through time using your wizarding magic. Stood face to face with monsters and darkness. And soared beyond the clouds with dragons.
Okay, so I like that also because it is you are essentially and by the way, guys, the full uninterrupted show is being uploaded as we speak to Park Oppen, so you can check that out as well if you want to watch it without us yapping. But I like how they're framing it as like you've done all this throughout the day, and this is the punctuation to your day. Like it's like your whole day has been one giant story of going to all of these various different places, and now this is the final chapter, right? This is the thing that bids you goodbye. I like that because it wraps the show into the entire day. And by the way, Ken Reinhardt asking how the cupcakes were. They didn't give cupcakes. They didn't give any. If they had given any kind of gifts or anything beyond just a press event, I would not have taken it and I wouldn't have gone. So we don't accept those things. I know he's just joking, but I do want to make that clear. We do not accept those kinds of things. People at Dollywood offered to let us in for free, and we said no, and we paid. So, you know, it was we were just there to cover the show.
Now, Celestial Park invites you to a final celebration of these epic worlds.
This is just Josh, and I know you are, buddy. Already more fireworks than I expected.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by the amount of pyro even in this introduction right here.
Go right into Nintendo.
First portal.
Yep. I had the biggest smile on my face during this section.
I'm sure. Very nostalgic. You really see the range of color here as well.
I'm gonna hit the pause button there just for the copyrighted music, but
sure.
Yeah, no, beautiful range of colors for this section. You got the reds and the greens for Mario and Luigi, and you know, it's just hearing, like, watching a fireworks show to Nintendo music, like that was just like it struck a chord in me that I didn't know existed. I was just kind of like, oh, this is the thing I never knew I wanted, and like now that I have it, I love it so much. And they've played Nintendo music with their fountain shows before. Like I've heard them play some like really like obscure Nintendo songs. Like they played Jump Up Superstar from Mario Odyssey and stuff like that to it. And that was I saw that while I was up on top of the Helios, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, this is you know what's so funny though is when I hear this song, which is just, you know, the main Mario theme, my first thought is from the Super Mario Super Show, where it's take one step and then again let's do the Mario all together now.
Fantastic. So
Yeah.
start out with Mario now.
Yeah,
It's interesting. I saw some footage of some of the segments that they were testing before. Did they
Right.
do a Donkey Kong segment with this as well?
oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. I went back a little
Yeah.
bit just to get the full experience.
Please.
Just like that. Captain Lou Albano dancing around, like you gotta love it. I love the colors of the you got the Mario colored fireworks, and here you go. We switch right to Donkey Kong. The entire, like, it's great because, like, it's just a subtle light shift, and then the colors, you know, and it's a completely different feel.
Very cool.
Now we're Harry Potter. I'm going to pause a little bit more often on this one, I think, just because it's John Williams music. But hearing that John Williams music hitting right there, I mean, perfect, right? Like, just really, really nice. Again, you know, Harry Potter fireworks, the thing, like I've always felt that they should be. Weren't they doing some kind of nighttime show on Hogwarts? It wasn't fireworks, but they were doing like a projection show at least.
They've had a couple projection shows, at least at Universal Orlando. I know for Hollywood they've had projection shows as well, both at Christmas and I think at Halloween as well, if I'm not mistaken, there with drones actually. So that's pretty cool. Go ahead, please.
Like now we're like kind of halfway through this. I want to say what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Wishes. And for those of you that don't know what Wishes is what was the show that was at the Magic Kingdom. This was before Disney became obsessed with the projections on the castle being the core element of the show.
Right.
Wishes was done just through lights, music, and fireworks, and it told the story so perfectly. Instead of just being like, "Oh, look, the castle got turned into a graham cracker," like it was just fireworks and music and story, and that's what this is. It reminds me so much of Wishes, and like that's what I kept thinking as it was going on. I'm just like, man, this is like bringing me back to Wishes, and like I still listen to the Wishes soundtrack. So
no, Wishes was a phenomenal show. Obviously, lasted many years, and was actually incorporated partially into Remember Dreams Come True over at Disneyland. So I remember that soundtrack well.
Wishes, yeah, like that's how I used to sing it.
Dreams come true. Sorry.
Yeah. I like those ones. Those ones look like stars. That's pretty cool.
Right. Really nice.
Yeah.
Pyro choice.
Yep. Honestly, this was such a good like way to just work with the music with this. The music is doing so much of the work.
Really nice choice of lighting here as well.
Yep. Just the lights on the Helios, the fireworks, the music, and the water are just all working together to tell a complete story without having to rely on a gimmick like projections.
Right.
Beautiful.
It's interesting. Some of those, fountains,
This one right here, Vash.
Obstruct the please.
Yeah, I was just saying this might be my favorite segment here. But what were we saying? The fountains obstruct what?
The fountains obstruct the Helios. So in this way, better not to go with projections on the Helios. I thought it would have made a fantastic surface, and maybe they will in the future. But at least for now, with the incorporation of fountains, the Helios is a little bit obstructed there. So the fact that they're only going with lighting that really enhances the fountains and obviously lets the fountains shine. A nice move. It's a nice restraint there.
Yeah. So I like how like the water comes up and it obstructs the Helios and then it comes down and reveals it again.
Right.
Like that I feel like that was almost done almost like an intentional like scene change.
Absolutely.
It's so funny because like the people that like work for Universal PR, like they were standing, they all had the biggest smiles on their faces because like they knew how good this was, and they were like, yeah, you guys are gonna like this. So,
which is cool.
So this is the Dark Universe section. So that was Victoria Frankenstein that you're hearing. And so basically what they've done is because Dark Universe is not based on one specific film, they have wrapped it into the attraction.
Right.
They've wrapped it into the Monsters attraction in Frankenstein Castle. So I like that.
Which is a nice idea, right? So, obviously you have a couple of storylines playing out in Darkmoor. I do like how they've really brought out the attractions themselves in this, as well as highlighting those franchises. And I think it makes it feel, like you were saying earlier, Marvin, a more complete park experience because of that.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's, essentially the story for Monsters Unchained is an original story, for the attraction. So it's not based off, it's based off of obviously Frankenstein and Dracula and all those movies, but it is an original story. I consider it a park specific story, and to wrap in a park specific story into a fireworks show, I think that is chef's kiss awesome.
I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool how they're leaning into the park the way they are. I remember Dreams Come True at Disneyland used to do that. It used to be one of my favorite aspects of that previous fireworks show. Also, too, Illuminations, I think, did that to some extent as well. But I really do like how Epic Universe is really leaning into itself here to create a complete experience, as you were saying before.
Mm-hmm. Frankenstein's monster there. Now we go into How to Train Your Dragon.
What a great portal to end on.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's such triumphant music, right?
Right. Score one of the best parts of the franchise.
Oh, yeah. It's such great theme park music, too, when you're walking through the land. And the fireworks never stop. That's what I love.
Like that.
This is the finale here. Look at that.
Man.
Right?
Quite nice. Yeah, Universal Creative showed up, man. The entertainment department really did an incredible job here.
So I love the use of the at the end there, because it's done one time. It's just one time right at the very end and caps it off for the finale, as opposed to the parade that they have in regular Universal Studios, where it's constant.
Right.
Like, it's between each float they play that, and you're just, by the end of it, you're just like, I hate that song now. But I mean, like just take a look at that final moment, that finale, one more time.
Yeah. They break it up too.
Mm-hmm. Just here, this grand finale, just lit up. Water going ballistic. The universal colors on the Helios.
There you go. I like this. A little bit of breakup right there.
Gorgeous.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The amount of pyro is actually pretty stunning, because we've seen Disney, over the years, just
They've
kind
cut
of
back
whittle
on
away
it.
at their pyro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a
with
conscientious decision, right?
Yeah, with Disney, you've got like projection. It's the projections are the things that you're supposed to be looking at. But look, and I get it. We've come a long way technologically, and there are people that maybe prefer the projections. The projections I know are cheaper to do. And the projections can be very stunning visually. There's just something about fireworks, man. There's something about minimalism, right? Like something like just a color change and fireworks. Like, I don't think that Jed Revenwolf said it, and this is what I said to Pro on the phone last night when I was leaving. He says, you had the feeling when you watched this, it was like you're watching old school Disney.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just this really precise movements when it came to the use of water, when it came to the use of pyrotechnics, song choice, all of that, really creating this very holistic, amazing show that had some feels to it, which is very surprising actually.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, that wasn't noisy. That wasn't, trying to draw your attention here, there, other places that I think Disney tends to do now. They tend to mash up some stuff quite a bit, and they don't necessarily let moments breathe. I know World of Color 1 really suffers from this problem versus this. I think it was really, really amazing to see the stylistic choices actually play out. And the fact that they drew out those segments right there, didn't cut them up, but let it played, let the music play and let them play out, I think was a really good stylistic choice. Yes. I do agree with you. Old school Disney. And hey, we didn't have to suffer barges all day in order to get something like this.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, my critiques of this, right? I would have liked maybe for it to be a little longer, but then again, I think that it's right on par with the other fireworks shows from the other companies. I think this is about 10 minutes long, and I think the Magic Kingdom one is like, 12? I was hoping for like a longer Nintendo segment or whatever. The Harry Potter section, the John Williams score is really nice. Maybe I would have liked to have seen a few more different colors in there. But that being said, I have very few complaints. And honestly, it should be later at night. This should be a 10 o'clock show instead of a 9 o'clock show, or it should be a 9 o'clock show, but then the park is still open for another hour, because essentially this is taking up you being able, like, you have to choose then, like, in that night, like right around this time is like, do I want to see well, at 9 o'clock the park is technically closed anyway, so you're not getting into the portals at that point. So
right,
yeah, I mean,
operationally that can get a little dicey as well, because now you're forcing everybody out right after the pyrotechnics actually are showcased here, which you want a little bit of a staggered closing. So I do agree with you. Maybe an additional hour would free that up just a little bit. But go ahead, please.
And that's more of just a general note about Epic Universe in total, is that we just want more of it at night. We want more of it to experience, because the park transforms at night. It really does. Like, it becomes an entirely different experience. Now, here's the other thing that I like, Vash, is that around this area is stadium seating, essentially. Like, you've got like so you don't have the problem you have at, say, Magic Kingdom on Main Street, where like you got the tall guy in front of you, everyone's standing up, people are putting their kids on their shoulders because their kids can't see. This, everybody sat down. Like, we were standing because we were at the very tippy top, but like everyone around us, you see everybody in front there, they're all sitting on the ground.
Yeah, that's what
they're sitting on the turf, like the fake turf there, which is great. Yes. Everybody was sitting and enjoying it, and like you could sit, and then like if you have a tall guy in front of you, it's stadium seating, so it's like a step down, so your kids can still see. They can still see the fountains, and if your kid needs to stand up, they're not. It's a kid, right? They'll be the same height as you when you're sitting.
So technically, you can pack them in closer, right? When you have everybody's stand as opposed to sit. But it's a worse experience, obviously, for the reasons that you cite right there. Not only that, but who wants to stand necessarily for the show? But also, too, it reveals more of what you're supposed to be looking at, like the fountains, for example, the Helios, etc. You have everybody stand in this instance? Probably, but I do enjoy, like you said, Marvin, they have everybody kind of sitting along this kind of stadium seating right here. I think it really does enhance the show, makes for a more pleasurable experience, even though you take a capacity hit when you actually do that. It's good and Universal to committing to that. So
there's one thing I think this show is missing. And I feel like after right before they went into that main finale, after How to Train Your Dragon, I would have liked there to have been like a song with lyrics. Like how Wishes has, how Happily Ever After has. I think there's just something about that, right? Like when the song actually has lyrics and like it can really like set the tone. I was hoping for that. It may happen in the future. Who knows? It was the one thing that I think this show was missing.
I can see that. You really do connect with lyrics, right? I mean, everybody remembers Wishes. When you say wishes. That, it evokes a reaction to you, right?
But like, so one of the things I loved in Wishes was in the very beginning when it was like Starlight, Star Bright, and like you'd have the fireworks going on. But I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
and you have the characters all kind of joining in there, which was a really cool bit right there. No, I do agree with you, but I don't know. I kind of like the more atmospheric angles they actually took with this. I think it was a nice stylistic choice. But you are right, though. I think people do connect with those lyrics in a way that maybe not featured here. That's most unfortunate. I will say, I remember Dreams Come True. I think that was just shy of 20 minutes, which was a long fireworks show.
Yes.
This one right here, 10 minutes. But they really did pack in quite a bit for those 10 minutes. A lot of pyro actually featured. Now, I didn't see any, like crazy shells like we've seen, like cube shells before and all that kind of stuff. I didn't see, any of that. I thought it was really nice to see the stylistic choices actually featured as part of this amazing fireworks presentation right here. Lots of pyro too. I can't understate that enough. It's a very expensive show.
Yeah.
Expensive commitment to do that. Really glad that Universal really knocked that out here. Was a big worry going into this.
To quote a Universal property, spared no expense.
That's true. All attractions.
Now, normally we save super chats, obviously, for after this segment, but this one actually is based on the thing I was about to say. Just a Dutchie asks for €6. Is this a standard show, or does it do variants like seasonal or something like that? This is the standard show. This is, as far as we know, the show that we're getting. I said to RJ as we were leaving, because I was there with RJ Sensei Pause from Geeks and Gamers. I said to him as we were leaving, I said, what I really would love to see, and I did a whole vlog that's going to be up on Park Hoppin' at some point this week. I said to him, I would love to see a Christmas version of this.
Yes.
Maybe even a Halloween version.
Well, we did just receive a 4th of July variant of this right before this. This is why this show started at July 7th, because they did use a lot of the infrastructure for this show for their July 4th celebration, which was fantastic to see. I do agree with you, Marvin. Keep this up with the Halloween and certainly Christmas. I mean, you're looking at a goldmine here, potentially.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it was truly wonderful, Vash. I'm happy we were able to be there to cover it. If you want to see the full, complete show with none of us stopping and talking, Park Hoppin', I just checked, it's up right now. It's the same footage. It's my footage, so it's the whole show all the way through. There will be a vlog about it later this week. Where RJ and I give our thoughts on it and stuff like that. So make sure you subscribe to Park Hoppin' and That Park Place here for all the coverage of this in the future. And honestly, was it perfect? I mean, no, nothing is ever truly perfect. There were a couple other things that I would have liked, but this exceeded my expectations. I'm very thrilled with it. I love it, and I think I think it is just one more reason why when you go to Epic Universe, you get there when it opens and you stay until it closes, because it's funny because like the event, like we didn't get there until like 8:15 for this. It's not like we were at Epic Universe the whole day. We were just literally, it's not like they let us into the park for free to go ride rides and eat food and stuff like that. We literally just like got there for the press event. We went, they took us right to the spot we were going to go. We watched the show and then we left. It felt weird to be walking out of Epic Universe at night and not have like my legs be in horrific pain and like be basically like limping and crawling back to the car. But yeah, guys, the park is an all-day experience. Make sure you go all day, and what a fun cap off to it. All right, well, without any further ado, leave your comments. What'd you think? Let us know in the comments below.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.